of time. Okay, so this is the March 2025 live stream part 2. Um, I have no idea what that was about. The CEO called. I called him back within 10 minutes, left a voicemail. I waited until 8 o'clock, and that was almost an hour after he called back. And, after he called, and he never called back. So I don't know what's going on. He didn't show up all day, and it sounded from his voicemail like he wanted to come over tonight. I'm not really thrilled about that idea. I haven't caught up on sleep yet, so um, anyway, yeah, kind of really screwed up my live stream plans. So here's what I'm gonna do. I was in the middle of answering a question from the other stream. So as I'm waiting for people to sign on here, I'm gonna go back over here and ask, why can't I talk today? Answer questions to get caught up, and then hopefully people will be on by then. Okay, so we who are about to die salute you. Your question is the one that I was answering when all this happened. So he said, I wonder if that is what my car insurance company is doing. I used their 20% off deal, so that means they're getting $25 gift cards up the wazoo. So I've seen companies do this, and the one example I was about to give you is Nordstrom. So the that moisturizer that I told you that I bought it from Nordstrom. I found this moisturizer I wanted online, and it's from an obscure company. And the only place you can really buy it is either from the company's website or from Nordstrom. But the thing is, if you buy it through Nordstrom, sometimes there's a sale, whereas the company doesn't have those, and you earn points to eventually get money off. And they have free 2-day shipping, which the company doesn't have. So I ordered it from Nordstrom. Well, when you finish, like you've placed your order, right after you place it, there's this screen of these different offers. And it's stuff like Factor and I don't remember what else, but it's like free trials of stuff, and it's the same deal. Like, yeah, what you're saying, it's they basically are getting some money back, and it's you get a discount or something for signing up for them or with them, but then when you do that, the company's also getting something as well. So that's basically how it works. Now, speaking of, if you guys, well, I had all this set up ahead of time and now it's all messed up. So it's not on this stream, it's on the other stream, part 1 of the 2025 March live stream. But if you go over there, there is a pinned comment on the live chat where I put my link for TurboTax. So if you haven't done your taxes yet, and you're going to do it through TurboTax, let me know. I can put the link in a pinned comment after this re-uploads on this video, and it'll be on the other video as well. You get 20% off your federal return with that code, and then I would get a $25 gift card. So if you're going to do it anyway, might as well use my link. I can always use free money, so I would appreciate that. But yeah, we who are about to die salute you. That is also an income stream that companies use too. It's not just influencers. Jeff says, do you have any children? I preferred small too before the little one came. So when I first read your comment, I had no idea what you were talking about. But then I realized I had been talking about my apartment. And no, I don't have kids. I don't want kids. I live with 30 some of them. So that's enough. But but yeah, so small, yeah, talking about the living space. Yeah, I would very much like to have like a compact apartment. And I just feel it's cozier, it's more manageable. Of course, it's more cost effective, it's not wasteful. And I'm pretty creative in the way that I can move furniture around or put in like organization stuff so that I can make the best use of the space. When I finally get all that in place, I'll be able to show you guys. I'm gonna hope it's over the summer, but we'll see. Um, we'll we'll see. I actually am ordering a couple of pretty nice things over the summer. I'm gonna be getting a nice electric heater for next winter because I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but it is still cold here. I've been getting all these alerts from Indiana that it's like 80 degrees, and I'm like, well, it's 20 degrees here. So, all right. So, Rambler said no free lunch, and what I think that was in reference to was I was saying signing up for like crypto stuff and you like get a free coin or something. I mean, I'm sure they're selling your data or advertising to you or something like that. And it's not free in that way, but like it is what it says. Like you sign up and you get a free whatever. It used to be something more valuable. Like 4 years ago, and I guess prior to that, like during COVID, you could sign up and it'd be like, get, 0.25 Bitcoin for depositing $100 or something like that. And I don't know what 0.25 Bitcoin is now, like $25,000. I don't know. But Darius says, well, I can answer some of your crypto questions. I think he's talking to TMUSA. The easiest way to invest is join the establishment exchanges like Coinbase or Robinhood and buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, those are the two big ones. And yeah, Coinbase is the main exchange, I think. Robinhood does have crypto, yeah. I forgot, I think I have $1 in USDC or something over there. I got it, I think, for free for signing up for something. Darius says the much more riskier, high risk, high reward coins are newers and sketchier on like BitSwap. Yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff. I know. What was it that Plato said? Was it Plato? Or no, it was Socrates. What did he say? Wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. And that's how I feel about crypto. I'll take it if it's free, but I'm not going to try to do anything with it. And honestly, I don't really care to learn. It's too risky, it's too complicated. I got too much other stuff to concern myself with. Rambler asked Darius about BTC back to 100,000. Darius says, I have no crystal ball, so I can't say exactly when, but I imagine when interest rates start to drop again, the cost of borrowing drops, and the Fed makes the money printer go. Yeah. Although I think they just said that they're not going to drop interest rates. I think that was the latest update I heard. Because my student loans are tied to those, so I kind of keep up on it. Because if the interest rate drops, my student loan interest rates drop, and then my minimum payment drops. That's the part that I worry about. And then I think the last comment I had on the old stream, Max says, what age range are you looking to date? There really isn't a range. I mean, like, legal to my age. I mean, maybe a couple years older than me. I will say I am more likely to date somebody younger because people, I mean, obviously, like I'm only talking about women, but I hate to say like women, because then like people misconstrue that. But maybe it's true of men too. I don't know. I'm just not like looking that direction. But I feel like people who are my age look way older than me. Um, and that's probably not true of everyone, but that's like, being on the dating apps and like seeing a girl that's like my age or a year or two older, they look much older. And I don't know, I mean, I'm like, yeah, biologically we're the same age, but we don't even look like we're approximately the same age. Like, we don't look normal together. I don't know if that makes sense. So that factors into it. So I don't really know. I mean, uh, we've talked before if I would date somebody that's college age, and I said I wouldn't rule it out. Depends on the circumstance, but I'd have some concerns. So I would say down to 18, but probably not. I'm open to 20s, I'm open to 30s. And like I just said, maybe open to 40s, early 40s, maybe, depending on the person. But I mean, I feel like the younger I go, I mean, maybe not college age, but like the younger that I go, the more that they're going to be in the stage of life that I'm in, and we can match up with that. Yeah, basically, I think that's the easiest way. But I'm not really like too hung up on ages. It would just be the extremes, really, would be the issue. All right, so that is the end of the comments on the old stream. If you left a comment after that, it didn't register. So we're still waiting on notifications to go out that I'm on a stream now, and I haven't gotten any new comments. So what I'm gonna do real quick here is I am going to switch over my screen. My computer cooperates. No, that's not what I want. Come on. Well, maybe. This might take a while. My poor computer. It is from 2012, and it just doesn't do the 2020s very well. Also, guys, I am really tired. Like, between the time that I called him back and I went to restart the stream, I literally almost fell asleep on the couch. So that's just kind of where things are right now. Okay, so I'm going to close this old stream out. I'm going to try to open this one in the new chat window over here. That way when comments come in, I can see them and get back to them. Make sure. Okay, so I guess we're not going to do the whole goal thing for the super chats, because I don't feel like setting that up again on the new stream. And whenever this comes up on my computer, I will I'll put that link again to TurboTax. But basically, I was trying to tell you guys what all I've done this month, because I've actually accomplished a lot. I mean, obviously moving everything and driving 17 hours and moving to a whole different region of the country, moving in, learning a new job, that's a lot to do in a month. But I did all of that. I also filed my taxes, which is a huge win, because as you guys know, I got super behind on those. I got 2023 taxes filed before the extension deadline, but 2024 taxes were not only filed before the deadline, but they were actually filed about 30 days before the deadline. So those are good to go. Now I still have to pay them, but just the fact that they're filed, so at least the IRS sees I'm making progress on getting my life back on track. So that is done. I also did a boot camp with YouTube. If you go over to my Instagram, you can go and look at my most recent picture on there. And you can see a little bit, you can see one of the screenshots from a Google Hangout that I was doing with YouTube headquarters. So now I do have a business partner manager at YouTube that I have a contact with. I can set up office hours with him, go over questions and stuff. That's not just related to the boot camp. That's like forever now. Now that you're in this program, then they put you in this thing called YouTube, the creator community, which I haven't really checked out. And there's a Discord for it. And I know you guys want me to set up a Discord. I'm going to do it. I don't like Discord. I'm straight up going to tell you that. But I'm having to use it for YouTube now because that's what Google uses. So if I'm using it for that, I might as well set one up, and it'll be part of the channel memberships. If you get to that higher level channel memberships that I'll set up here over the summer, you'll have access to the Discord as well. So that's something that's coming down the road. Basically, I have now finished the channel memberships boot camp. I've graduated from that. I have these contacts now with Google, and I have a better idea of how to set up, like how I'm going to structure the channel memberships. But it is a lot of work on the front end to get all that going. And I'm wanting to launch it sometime like late summer, early fall maybe. And as I mentioned in my last video, I did already film the first exclusive video for the members only content, which is a more deep dive into a little bit of the drama behind why I left Indiana and our crazy landlord and all of that. So it's about an hour long, unedited. I don't know how long it'll be once I edit it, but so that is going on. TMUSA, I saw that you're on and you posted a comment. So let me get this going over here on my end so I can actually see your comment. And then I also, before I forget, guys, I'm trying to film my videos in 4K. And let's just say I'm not having the greatest time with that. My camera will it will film in 4K at 60 frames per second, which is like the highest that I think you can put on YouTube. I'm really trying to upgrade that quality, but the problem is it was driving me crazy. I could not get it to show up on YouTube that way. It would do it at a max 1080p. And I'm like, it's a 4K video. Why is it 1080p? And I had to test like every step of the process. I'm like, okay, this is how I get it from my phone to my computer. Is that making the quality drop? And I'm like comparing file sizes. And then it's like, okay, no, it's not that. And then what it turns out to be, I am using a 13-year-old MacBook Pro. And for example, the file size of a 4K video, 60 frames per second, an hour long, is about 39 gigabytes, which is a huge file. Well, the problem that I ran into is that all this equipment, it's all Apple equipment, but it's from different eras. MacBooks from 2012, cell phones from 2021. I also have an iPad I use for work that I think is a few years old. They don't really all work together like you'd think they would. So I was having a lot of issues making those work together. And basically what I figured out was that the issue for why it won't stay in 4K is not YouTube. There was a setting that you can only change from desktop. No, you can only change from mobile. So you cannot upload 4K video from desktop to YouTube. It's not possible. And the reason being is there's a setting that YouTube sets as like not uploading in 4K, and you have to change that, but you can't change that setting from the desktop. You have to do it from the mobile app, which means the only way to make sure that it uploads the video in full quality is to do it from the mobile app. So here, what I'm trying to do is film a video on my phone, airdrop it to my computer so that I can edit it on iMovie, and then airdrop it back to my phone so I can upload, and it's like not working, and it's driving me crazy. So what I finally figured out, the main issue was, after getting that setting fixed, is that I'm using iMovie 09, 2009, on a 2012 MacBook. In 2009, I don't know that 4K existed. So I have it set for max quality, but what it's doing is it's taking the 4K video and setting it at what it believes to be the max quality, which is 1080p. And so there's just no way to do it. Now, what I have done is there's the mobile version of iMovie, which I do not know how to use at all. It is like a completely different program. But I have it on my phone. Okay, it comes free with iPhones. I think it's harder to edit on a phone, but I'm going to learn how to do it because I ran through the steps, I tested everything, and if I film on my phone and I edit with iMovie on my phone and I upload from my phone, then I can do 4K video on YouTube. So that's what we're going to do. The main issue right now is me learning how to, I mean, really right now I'm just doing jump cuts. I'm not doing anything fancy right now, but learning how to jump cut and fine tune those cuts on mobile like I do on the computer. I might be able to airdrop it to my tablet for work. They don't care if I use it for personal stuff, because it does also have iMovie on it. It's a bigger screen at least, so maybe that would help. But it's still going to be a pretty steep learning curve. And I would not expect it for next month, but just know that that's coming down the pipeline, that I will be hopefully learning how to edit in this century's iMovie. Okay, I am going to post this comment real quick. Okay, I just posted the TurboTax thing in here, and I just pinned it, so you don't have to jump back over to the other one. All right, so TMUSA, 2 comments. How you liking your new area? I'd love to vacation in the Northeast. I've only seen pictures, but looks so cool. Well, I can't really have an opinion on that yet. I haven't seen anything. I mean, I got here with the rental car, and my boss wanted to have dinner right away, so I went over to Dover, which is the next town over, which is a good bit bigger than the town I live in. Went over there, didn't see anything other than the restaurant. Came here. I've been to Target a few times. I went to Portsmouth like 2 days ago for the first time, but I didn't go into the city itself. I was on the outskirts by like where Walmart, and I went to Trader Joe's and things like that, where those are. And I still have not seen the ocean. There is a river here, which I thought was pronounced Piscataqua because I have heard that said before. I don't know if it's the name of like, I don't know, like a mall or something, but I've definitely heard that. But then I was watching something on YouTube yesterday and they pronounced it like entirely differently. But anyway, we're off a river, and I've seen a bay that comes off the river, but I haven't actually seen the ocean from here. But I'm actually very close to the ocean. So I really haven't seen anything yet. We just had a blizzard 3 days ago. Yesterday it was raining ice. Today it was raining ice. Like, it's still fully winter here. Um, Also, my car doesn't have heat, so I don't really go anywhere. Um, I'm going to explore the summer. Sorry, my contact is bothering me. Um, I'm going to explore the summer, but I just don't know when summer starts here. They definitely told me that winter goes at least through April. So, whereas like it's in the 80s in Indiana this week, it was supposed to be 60 today here. I think it got up in the 40s. Um, so there's a very short summer, and it gets, from what I've been told, it gets actually really hot here. Um, but I think summer is pretty much May, June, July, and August. It's definitely cold by October. So, I mean, I kind of have to get out and like explore when I can. I have to take a trip home. Plus, I have to go for that training in July. But yeah, um, I I don't really have an answer to that because I'm actually basically I want to go. I want to take the train north because I'm right off the Amtrak line. So I'm gonna take the train north into Maine. Um, if I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna have to get some boots. I don't know how to dress myself, but I'm gonna have to start. So I'm going to have to get some boots for next winter. So my plan is to take the train up to Maine to the LL Bean headquarters and get fitted for bean boots there. So I'll have those for winter. Um, and then I'm going to sometime take the train the other way to Boston, do some stuff down there. Um, Sometime probably late summer before school starts. I want to go to Salem. Would like to go around Halloween, but that's when it's super busy, and I probably wouldn't like that. So um, I'm going to take the train into the city and go to Salem. Um, and then at some point, I would like to go into the mountains. I'll have to rent a car for that, but there's the White Mountains, but the Green Mountains in Vermont, I crossed them on the way here. Because like you kind of hit a spot in New York where the interstate ends, and then the entire rest of the drive is just like 2 lane roads. And I really liked Vermont, so I want to go there, but when it's warm. So I want to try that out. Um, yeah, I would just say if you vacation here, um, come here in the summer. Um, I don't know how, like the rest of the year, I guess if you come early enough, you can get a cabin out in the woods and just get snowed in for the whole winter. But otherwise, at least me, it would be too cold for me to go out and do anything. Now, one thing I would like to do, I just saw this yesterday. I didn't even realize this was a thing. Apparently, they have whales here, and I've never seen one, so I want to go. I don't have any interest in going to the beach here because they're all like, there's no sand, it's like rocks. Um, but I want to go to the shore to see if I can see a whale. I did find a horseshoe crab this weekend. It was dead, but I've never seen one in real life. So that was kind of a big deal. Oh, TMUSA says maybe you can find a Mac lab on campus to do some of this stuff on more modern equipment. Yeah, that is also a possibility. Um, I don't know if they still have computer labs because most people have their own equipment, but I do know that the library and there's also a media center, they both check out MacBooks. I just don't know if I can use them because I'm in that weird place again where I'm not a student and I'm not an employee of the university. So I have to talk to them about that. But I did go to the public library, which is literally within sight of my house. And they have a library of things. And one of the things that they have is a MacBook Pro, like a newer one. So I could feasibly use newer iMovie to edit on the newer MacBook Pro. I could airdrop it from my phone to there, and then I'll just have to test whether I can, because I can export it in 4K, and then I'll just have to figure out how to, because I can't upload it from desktop, because if you do that, YouTube won't make it 4K. So I have to airdrop it back to my phone, I think, and then upload from there. But I'll get a system figured out. Darius says, I'm a washed up business grad. Got my MBA at 23 back in 2017. It was brutal just finding work. I failed trying to become a software engineer before COVID. Yeah, the MBA thing is tough. I mean, I don't know. I feel like getting a job with that's got to be tough. Like you just got to start your own business. And then yeah, the software engineer thing is kind of dying because there's so many layoffs in tech, and even the interviewing process is ridiculous. And they always try to make you do all those projects, which then they have you do actual work, and then they don't hire you and they just steal the work. Like tech's really bad. And in fact, there was a program that I got accepted into quite a few years ago now, but it's called Impact West Virginia, and it is a coding boot camp. And they used to guarantee you employment in the state immediately after the boot camp. They guaranteed you a high salary. I think it was 40,000, which is very high for West Virginia. And anyway, I couldn't do it because of I couldn't afford not to work, and they wanted you, like, you had to spend all your time doing this, and then I couldn't find housing. And anyway, later on they changed the program so that none of those things are problems. But just this year they changed it. They don't do coding anymore. I think they switched it to data analytics. So like they kind of gave up on coding even being a thing that was wanted in the industry. Like they were graduating these people from boot camp and like no one was getting jobs. TMUSA says, that is so funny. I didn't want to say, but thought about L Bean and would have to shop at one when in the area. I love their stuff. Yeah, I just went to one. It was a week or so before I left Indiana, because there's one in Columbus at Easton, and I went in there to see the stuff in person. I was pretty set that when I moved here, I was going to get bean boots. I've never had winter boots before, but like that's going to have to be a thing here. So I'm going to, I'm actually, the thing is, so what I read online is that bean boots fit weird. So I'm going to just go to the headquarters and get fitted for them in person. That way, when I order them later, I know what size I need. But yeah, I mean, I'll make a day of it. Like I'll take the train up there, get that done. I think that's Freeport, Maine. It's one of the bigger cities that's like up. It's like up directly off the Amtrak line. I live probably about a half-mile walk from the Amtrak station here. And that's how I'll get to Boston as well. Now, when I go home, I'll either have to drive or fly. We have an airport fairly close. It's like 5 miles away, but it only flies to Florida. They fly to like 4 different places in Florida. And it's like, Florida and New Hampshire, like, I don't understand the connection there. Um, and everybody tells me not to fly out of Boston. So I'm going to have to drive to Manchester, which is the capital of New Hampshire. It's like an hour drive. So I'll have to get a ride. Um, the university has a bus system, so it's only like $1. Um, but I can do that. All right. So let me think about it. So I did the chapter memberships boot camp. I also did a volunteer position this month. I don't know if you guys ever look at my LinkedIn. It's all public, but I have been doing some volunteer work. This is the first time since COVID that I'm doing that. So it's just another of many steps of getting my life back together and getting on track. But I just finished up doing University of Michigan, and it is on my LinkedIn, but the description's not written up yet. I'm hoping to either do that tonight or tomorrow. But basically, what I've been doing is serving as an industry guest judge for fraternity and sorority life awards. So I've been evaluating applications for different Greek councils at different universities, and like ranking nominations for different awards. Some of them are for an individual, and some of them are for the chapter. So, like, I think 2 days ago, I just finished up with Michigan's. And I also did Illinois State and Penn State. I got accepted to do Duke, and then they ghosted me. So, I don't know about that. But, oh, yeah, TMUSA says she loves the LLB and stuff. I only have one thing from there. It's in some of my past videos, but the blue hoodie, like the zip up hoodie that I got last fall, it's from there. I'll say that their store isn't like really my style, but there are individual pieces from there that I would get. Um, Let me think here. Is there anything else I did this month? Fixed Twitch. So I mentioned before, uh, I've been streaming on Twitch. I was doing that a little bit more, and then I had an issue where it just stopped working. It would give me an error every time. I don't know how I fixed it, but it's fixed. It works now. I tried it earlier today. So that's back on track. Um, Let me think. I know I'm missing something, but for the most part, I mean, all these changes are really slow, but I'm starting to get things like back on track and caught up, and I'm making progress with YouTube. So, um, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've kind of mentally said that I'm on a schedule now. I do the monthly live stream and then one other video. Um, on occasion, if there's material for it, I'll shoot a third video that'll be members only. Like when I launch the memberships, it'll be on there. I did that for the additional video for talking about moving to New Hampshire. So when I launch that, that'll be one of the things that's on there. As well as eventually I will tell you guys the story about the roommate and like his whole trial and all that stuff. That's gonna have to be a members only thing though. So basically, anything that's a little more private, like I'm still putting it out there publicly, but it's like it's a little more controversial or it's a little more like personal. I'll put it there because then that way I figure if you're paying the $5.99 to get access to it, then you like me enough that you're not going to be upset about the video, basically. So what does that do? Huh. Okay. So what I'm going to do is tonight my goals are to stream at least one session PUBG Mobile. That's just for me, but if, like I said, if we meet the super chat goal, I would do that publicly, like set it at a time. Um, the other thing that I'm planning on doing is hopefully writing the description on LinkedIn for Michigan for that judge thing that I just finished, because that'll get rid of 2 of the tabs on my computer, and that would be great. And there was one other thing I really needed to get done today, and I don't remember. I don't know. Hopefully I'll figure it out later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's a lot. I mean, especially even with just moving in the same month, I got all that stuff done. And I will tell you guys, I have for April, I'm gonna go ahead and set a goal for the channel, but the goal is just to get all my stuff written and filed for the loose ends. Now, I've talked a lot about tying up loose ends with finishing up stuff for the lawsuit and all of that stuff. I have a letter I need to write. I have a complaint to file. And then by April 20th, really by the 18th, because the 20th I think is like a Sunday, I have to have in another complaint. Now, thankfully, I've had ChatGPT write most of this for me, so it's not so mentally taxing and stressful as it was a year or two ago when I was researching and writing all this stuff myself. And it sure as hell goes a lot quicker. So this is my shortcut to be able to get this done without anguish. I'm still stressing about it, but I know I'll feel better once I get it done. Basically, I gave it all the information. It pre-wrote the letter. I just need to copy it into a Google Doc, print it out, get it ready to go. It has already written the complaint that I need to file. I just need to edit it a little bit, get that ready to go, get the document, like all the exhibits ready to go with that. And then it's the same process for the other complaint that I have to file. So that's all going to get done before the live stream next month. But basically, after I got the taxes out of the way, after I got, there was one other thing. I forget what it was now, but it's done. And getting that video uploaded, because I wanted to make sure I got one video other than the live stream up this month. That's all I needed to do. Once that happened, mostly for the next month, I'm full bore, like, getting this stuff filed. Now, I kind of feel like there's about a 99% chance that nothing is going to happen in response to what I'm filing. But it's something that I need to do just to make sure that I've tried every opportunity. And so it's like, because if I file it and they don't do anything about it, it's like, well, I did all I could do. If I just say like, oh, they're not going to do anything about it, and I don't file it, then it's sort of, the blame is on me for not trying. So as much as I don't want to write this, I'm going to. And getting those done is like a huge step out of the way of the final loose ends to tie up. And it's actually the last set of things that have a deadline, except for one thing. But that deadline for the last thing is like way out. So I'm not nearly as worried about that one. Because at that point, everything else will be done. Um, and then once that's done and I get a response from that, I can start inching toward making the videos about what happened. So I'm working on that. Now there's not much information I can put out about this, but I am going to tell you guys this right now. There is an update with the girl that I think is relevant. I wish I could tell you what it is, but I don't want to tell you the exact name of the charge because then you might be able to like figure out who she is, but I don't know how to phrase it because I don't know exactly what happened, but she got arrested again recently, like within the last couple weeks. And I'll just say for now, she got arrested for the exact things that she accused me of. So it's not good that that happened, but it's, I'm just over here like, I knew. I tried to tell everyone. No one would believe me. So, it'll be months before I find out what happens with that. But just the fact that here I am at not quite the end of this, but, toward the end of this, and it just seems like time is kind of revealing who the actual problem was. So, but that'll all get revealed and work itself out as I continue wrapping up my loose ends. And by the time that I'm ready to make the videos, I can tell you guys about what happened with her. And by that point, I'll also have all the relevant information. So it's not just like, oh, it was this charge. I can be like, well, this is what she did to get charged with that. So, yeah. So that was interesting. Well, that's my plan. We don't have a ton of people on here. We only have 9 people. Although I think everybody's confused between the different day, the different time, and then the live stream and me having to jump off. So, it's kind of messed up the whole flow. But I've got a lot done this month. And I probably won't get as much done next month just because I have all that stuff I have to write for court. But it will feel pretty monumental to get that out of the way. Because I've been planning on doing this stuff for 2 years. There was so much stuff like in line to get done that I'm finally getting to this part of it. So, it'll all get done, and then I will have a few months after that to relax before I have to start on it's not the final project, but the final thing that has a deadline. And I think the deadline on the final thing is November 2026, I believe. So I'm going to have it in quite a bit earlier than that, but that basically gives me this getting filed in April. I can take a couple months off, and then maybe if by the end of this year I get everything filed for the final thing, well, even then it's not a final thing, but the final thing with the deadline, I should have it in well ahead of time. So, but there's only a certain number of things I can do with this stuff, and a lot of them I've run out of time. The statute of limitations has passed, or something similar to that. So I'm only doing the ones I can still do, and then once the ones with the timelines are passed, then I can go back and try to do a few others. Um, I have a whole list of what I need to do to address all this. So I am really dragging, if you can't tell. Um, I was hoping to, I don't know, maybe get some sleep or something, but I don't know what's happening. I don't know where our CEO is, and I don't know if he's going to pop in the morning while I'm trying to sleep. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, I'll just say that, like, there's a lot going on. Oh, also, um, I believe I am going to be getting a co-working space, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do next month, because the thing is, I'm not going to need the co-working space. I'm going to use it for filming, essentially. And I mean, while I'm doing it for filming, I'm going to do it for, like, I'm going to do other stuff there too. Um, I looked into a lot of options, and the cheapest option I found also happens to be the one that my car can actually get to, um, as far as distance, and it's also the one that has the most amenities. So basically, what it is I found one that has unlimited free printing and faxing. So that's a huge deal, because right now, anytime I print stuff, and especially like printing all this stuff for court, I go to FedEx office, and then it's fairly expensive to print stuff out there. So unlimited printing, um, and the one in particular that I'm going to, it has a gym, like, in the co-working facility. So it's basically, instead of paying for a gym membership, I would pay for the co-working space, get free printing, that I'd have to pay for, and getting a gym membership that I'd have to pay for. So it reduces, in my mind, it reduces the overall cost, because I'm paying for the co-working space, but I'm also saving other things that I would be paying for. So anyway, it would give me a quiet place to do the live streams. It would give me a quiet place to shoot my regular videos, especially now that I'm getting, like, more on schedule with doing that. And it gives me a place to escape if the guys are being loud. Like, it's not ideal if they have the music on till 7, and that's the only night I've been here a month. That's the only night they've done that. So I don't think it's going to be that often. And we also only have like 40 days of school left, if that. So I'm almost there to where they're not going to be here for the whole summer. But on the random nights that they are like that, I have a place to go where I don't have to just sit here. And yeah, so I don't have the details of that yet. I called them, left a voicemail today. They didn't call me back, so I'm going to try to find out later this week. But I believe that's going to be fairly cheap. And it'll be a business expense because I'm doing it for YouTube, so I can write off the full amount. So it'll help me with taxes too. But anyway, well, I think we lost everybody from the first live stream, because we got up to quite a few people being on there, 20 or 30. Now there's only around 9, so it looks like there's not any more questions. So I will work on getting these re-uploaded and processed. That should take a day usually. And then I will maybe post a link later to remind you guys about the TurboTax thing if you want to do that. That's pretty much it. That's all I've got. Sorry, I'm super tired. I don't know if you can probably see it, but like probably tell in my eyes, like I am super tired. So I don't necessarily think I'm gonna go fall asleep, but I need to like shift my attention to something. Um, so anyway, um, I haven't decided what video I'm gonna make, but I will make a video sometime in April to go up before the live stream. That'll be like actual content for the channel. That'll go up and we'll do the live stream. And I'm hoping at that point I have the 4K issues worked out and have learned iMovie. So maybe the next one will be 4K. And then, yeah, in the meantime, I will figure out a filming location for next month's videos. And then the actual project for me to do is just to get all my stuff written for court. And I'm stressed about it, but it's my main priority, so it'll get done. I'm just going to be stressed until it is. So it will be a huge relief once it's done. Even if they don't do anything, it'll just be like, I tried. Thank God I don't ever have to do that again. But yeah. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. Hopefully you guys will re-watch both parts. And next month, I should not even be here. We shouldn't get interrupted. I'm just going to straight up tell people like, hey, I'm not available during this time. So, we shouldn't have this problem again next month. But anyway, look for a video from me next month, and we'll do a live stream again toward the end of the month. And when these re-upload, feel free to comment there. I read through all the comments. And make sure you follow me on Twitch. Go through my link tree. It's in the description of this video. All right. I will see you guys in April then.